I'm Leslie B, justice seeker, story keeper, and we're still watching, waiting for justice.
Who watched today? I was listening on my phone while at work, and I would have to look at the screen to see what was going on. Y'all, this is nuts. Oh, good to see y'all. I've set my timer for like an hour and 15 because I'm getting up early because I'm getting down there. Do y'all think closings will be tomorrow? Do you think the defense will wrap up and then closings in the afternoon? I'm just I can't believe it. And I found a local stream and it has closed caption. So I'm Leslie B. We're discussing the Blaise Taylor, and today was absolute chaos. So if you can't get real witnesses, that should tell you something. What do y'all think? Melissa says, agree. Defense is a joke. They have nothing. Daddy should ask for a refund. Funny you say that because I made a short, I haven't even posted it, but at the end it says, does daddy want a refund? Yes, it was. I couldn't believe how long. Those jurors. I really tried to decide, did I want to go today or tomorrow? But ultimately, I'm glad I chose tomorrow. Beach bum. Daddy should have hired the former prosecutor, the defense's witness, former prosecutor and tech expert. He would have done way better. Oh, interesting. Yes, thank you. Please like it. I appreciate y'all. Melissa, what a day. My mouth was on the floor with the defense or lack thereof. They pay the big bucks for this, and the judge admonishing Letitia was priceless. There were so many things I've heard, but when also the end she goes, when they were on break at the very end, she goes, Your Honor, can I go to the bathroom? I've been holding it. Or can I go to the ladies' room? I'm like, who? Well, I want you to say, could we have a restroom break or a bio break or whatever? What a ship show or what a snip show. Snip, snip. It's what he needs is a snip, snip. Oh, y'all are glad I pushed it back. This is just unbelievable. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to jump around. Obviously, we're not going to be able to watch everything. Oh, what's your question? Quilting girl, quilt gal. What is your question? Oh, yeah, it was wild. I can't say I've seen anything like this. Yeah, that was fun trivia last night. You been watching on a natural station? Yeah, I never even thought about that. Closings afternoon would be my prediction. That's what I think too. Hey, True Crime Wifey. Hey, Audrey. Okay. Quilting. Yes. Wasn't it Xavier that Apple was asked to help get the abortion pill? Yeah. So it was back in 2017. And apparently, when he was arrested in 2024, he was with her in Utah. And isn't that the girl that he was professing his love to the day before on text? This guy is. She never says your honor, always calls the judge sir. I like how she tries to school him on the law. That's always my favorite. But all right, let's get started. I'm excited to have this on a local channel because we don't have to look at the Law and Crime or Court TV logo and we have closed caption. So this is how it started. Of course, she's going to ask for judgment of acquittal. So this is the Blaise Taylor case. Day 6.
That the medical examiner relied on in determining the cause of death for Ms. Benning, given the fact that the expert who testified to the validity, the integrity, and the blood in terms of the cocaine being in the blood, that she was a surrogate witness, it should be excluded after her testimony when she stated that in the amount of time that she had to review all of the data, she had to rely on the underlying test and analysis. Additional to that, she actually testified, I did not look at each quality control. I was not able to actually check each batch. With her not being able to do that, it It violated Mr. Taylor's right to confront all of his witnesses and therefore violated the confrontation clause. As a result of that, anything that was relied on by that surrogate witness should be excluded and should not be considered. Without the blood listed in work toxicology report number 231268889, there is nothing that the ME has testified to that she relied on in order to determine the cause of death for Ms. Benning. In addition to that, there has not been one witness that has come and tied Mr. Taylor to any drug, any form of cocaine whatsoever. There has not been any evidence presented to this court that Mr. Taylor bought cocaine, researched cocaine, did anything of the sort during this. We believe that there has to be a causal connection between Mr. Taylor and the cocaine in order to determine that he.
Just the proof based on who was in the apartment for the 3 minutes between the 911 call and the Ms. Benning's call.
I would disagree in that it has not been established by any of the experts that the only period of time that Ms. Benning would have been required to take the cocaine, that it was only within that
There's
3
plenty of
minutes of time.
testimony that has been very quick.
However, they did not state that it would have been very quick after she took it, but we don't.
Okay, we may have no exact cocaine evidence, but what we do have is a severe reaction, and he was the one with her. And that hit so fast. It wasn't Nija. And if anybody says that, no.
Don't know when she took it, and we don't know who gave it to her. There hasn't been any
Be
evidence. to
somebody in
suggest
the
that.
apartment or we Danny or, I mean, that's a jury question.
Yeah, I mean, there are people who get convicted of murder and they don't even have a body. But yeah, isn't this similar to not being able to find the murder weapon? True.
It is the defense position that no causal connection has been made between the cocaine and Mr. Taylor. As a result of that, in addition to the Smith v. Arizona issue, that there should be a judgment of acquittal, because without a cause of death,
These witnesses were unbelievable.
and there is no proof evidence that in fact Mr. Taylor could have caused the death of Ms. Benning. As a result of that, we move for a judgment of acquittal.
Okay. All right, that's the snake care to be heard.
Your Honor, Dr. Mithun was very thorough in explaining that she did her own analysis. She was not a substitute witness, just reading from someone else's report. She did her own analysis. She formed her own opinion. She wrote her own report. It is not even a comparison. Her explanation about that there's no connection to Mr. Taylor and the cocaine, and the state submits that there is substantial circumstantial evidence of he is the person who put the cocaine in Jade Benning's drink. Her own words were that she just didn't know what it was. Dr. Carney gave very explicit testimony about timing and that it wouldn't take long to feel the effects. She described dizziness as being something that would be possible, as well as the person might be able to walk, but not for very long after ingestion. And she said that a time frame of approximately 30 minutes until Jade Benning would be in full cardiac arrest, that was consistent with everything that she knew, and specifically consistent with the other autopsy she reviewed. That was the only one that had circumstances similar to Ms. Benning's case. There is I would say proof beyond an absolute certainty that Mr. Taylor was the only one with Ms. Benning in that apartment during that time frame. So the state would ask that their motion be denied.
Okay. All right, at this point, the court relies on the testimony that's been presented by the state. In light of that testimony, the court's discussed already the testimonial Smith v. Arizona issue. There's nothing the court's heard since that ruling that changes that. I mean, she, Dr. Mithun talked about each batch, but said that didn't affect her reliability of her testing. She looked at a number of them. So she was asked specifically how many, but, and in terms of the causal connection, something happened to Ms. Benning in that apartment. There is circumstantial or direct proof.
That's right. Amen, Dozier.
Mr. Taylor was the only one there, so that's not my role to judge credibility if they believe Ms. Jackson's statements, and the cited utterance from Ms. Benning tells us who it was. So I'll overrule the motion for judgment of acquittal. And who is the first witness?
Citizen Kane wants to know what my opinion is of the prosecutor. I'll tell y'all, she has a great reputation. She did get justice in the Vanderbilt grape trial years ago, but she is on my nerves. Your Honor, just like it's like the whiny sister, Dad. And I'm sure we don't know what she's been through. Can y'all imagine all the hearings and everything leading up to this? I mean, it's not like this is their first time showing off in this trial, but I do not think they're going to break bread together after it. And then Mr. Leslie, oh, what's the guy's name? You know, the little male prosecutor. We call him Leslie. God, I can't think of it. He had some deep voice today. I was like, oh, he is capable of speaking.
James Smith. He
I will tell y'all, Jan Norman, though, she's a workhorse, the prosecutor. I mean, she's not, you know, coming across like Laura Adams or anything.
here.
Yeah. I will tell you, on Friday, the jurors were very tired. I mean, they were dozing, they were spinning in chairs, they were arms crossed. I'll let you know tomorrow.
He is here, I understand. Really briefly, Your Honor. I think we
yeah.
need to
That's like
test
Jordan.
our computer system before we get the jury.
Oh, I thought that had already been done. People were here.
Look, the bailiff looking spiffy today. Andrew, yeah, Leslie Jordan. And that's Ned Flanders right there. Y'all, I saw him on Friday walking on the sidewalk after the judge was like, yeah, you be careful. He's like, me be careful. And he was still just like, oh.
I think we're, I don't think we tested it yet. I just want to make sure we get it tested real quick.
Is that your computer?
Yes,
What's on your computer?
it's a PowerPoint that's on it.
Well, your apps are down there.
Yeah.
Your Honor, while they're sorting that out, the one other thing I think we're going to
Look, Blaise is balding. Do y'all see that?
I think we're in a better position to have a discussion with Your Honor about the jury instruction, Your Honor, reference 4210A. It doesn't have to be right this minute, but at some point when Your Honor's ready, we can have that discussion.
Do you want it in the jury instructions or not?
At this point, I think our position is we don't necessarily want it in unless there were substantial revisions to it, which we can discuss, but I think as written, we do not want that.
Okay. Well, it wouldn't all come in. It'd be as promoted and intent.
The other concern I would point out, Your Honor, is the language of that jury instruction uses the word crime.
That's why I asked you if you wanted. It could say crime or other wrongful acts.
Our position would be the word crime should be taken out.
All right, let's get forward and find something else. Let's see.
Good morning, Attorney Smith.
Good morning.
Can you please state and spell your name for the record?
It's Jade.
I'll tell you where a lot of this got messy, and I'm not defending the Metro detectives, but at first it was domestic violence, DV, right? And that's what he is. And then it transitioned to homicide, but it was sloppy not locking that apartment down.
Smith, JAMESSMITH,
And where are you currently employed?
the Metro National Police Department.
And how long have you been employed there?
Nearly 13 years.
Did you ever have an occasion to get involved in this
No, I'll show you the bailiff who thought I was Nancy Grace when I see him.
case involving Mr. Blaise Taylor?
I did.
Were you the first officer on the scene at the hospital, the first detective on the scene at the hospital?
I was the first detective to respond.
Did you ever call Andrea Browning and give her permission to go into the house?
Initially, I did not recall that spoke. But yes, been talked about, yeah.
And would you have given anybody permission to go into the house? Is that something you would have done?
The only time that would be done is because I was not doing the search warrant. And
Okay, just so y'all know, he was arrested, I think it was March 14th, 2024 in Utah. Then he got to Nashville. He was extradited to Nashville March 26, 2024. And he was in the Metro jail until April 26, so 30 days. And then Daddy paid $250,000 and got him out. And he's been out ever since. He's had to stay in Davidson County, and he's had an ankle monitor.
The officer had released the officer who initially was going to secure the scene or the apartment at that time. He had been released. The apartment at that time had been released, so it was no longer police custody to be frozen and such. So to give permission to anybody, it would have been after that fact that I can't say they can or cannot go in there at that time.
And just to be clear, do you have any documentation for recordings suggesting that you gave someone permission to go into the house?
I personally do not.
And would you have given permission for her or any friends to enter into the apartment?
If given permission,
Okay, Andrew, you're saying he's sketchy, eyes are shifting. I do want to note I have this on 1.25 speed, so it looks a little more blinky. I do think this guy, I think he's really embarrassed. That's what I think.
it would have just been family. I would have given the family.
And did you give family permission in this case to go into the apartment?
Based off the recollection that was given to me, it would have been either stepmom or mother. But
Andrew, I think you would be nervous too. I mean, can you imagine you have to come in a courtroom and court TV, like that camera is right in your face? I mean, it's scary. You're testifying.
Browning would have been the contact.
Would an email that you sent refresh or aid in your memory for your testimony here on today?
Yes.
I mean, you know, Letitia is freaking out. She was going to go exchange notes with that last witness today. Adelson Hader, Saturday, I thought the prosecution was lackluster. Today, I think the defense is shady boot. I just want to say one thing real quick. I know some of y'all like to go watch somebody else who's covering this trial that we watch coverage on another trial, and that's fine. Do not type my name in the chat. Okay? Just please don't.
You have the opportunity to refresh your memory.
Yes.
After refreshing your memory, do you have any recollection of giving Mrs. Benning's stepmother or any family members permission to go into the house?
Like I said, initially, when I sent this email, I have no recollection or memory of giving anybody permission.
And when did you send the email?
This email was sent yesterday.
Melma, yeah, Blaise is little, but he can be fast. I think probably like a little running back. Let's hear Leslie Jordan.
Timing reflects that your conversation with Ms. Browning was approximately 1:45 a.m. Does that sound accurate?
Yes, sir.
And again, that would have been after Officer Fish discussed.
Yes, sir.
Interviewed her. And so at 1:45 a.m. and thereafter, you knew that there was not going to be a search warrant.
Yes, sir.
Correct? And that there was not going to be any police presence at the apartment, correct?
Correct.
And so legally, whatever, was there any authority you had to tell them that they cannot go into Jade Benning's apartment, secure it, and deal with it?
No, sir. Once it was released, I can't say who cannot go in there.
Well, you say released.
Uh,
Has anyone ever actually been there to crime scene tape or stand at the door?
No, sir.
I'll tell you what's driving me nuts with a lot of these witnesses when they're just like, they won't really answer it. And this is on both sides. And then they're like, well, would it refresh if we showed you an email? Why wouldn't you just review that? Because I think it looks way better just to be like, yes, I do remember that email. Like, just review it because you know they're going to call you out on it instead of being like, I don't remember. And then going, oh, yeah, I'm refreshed. I think it's a bad look. That's my opinion. Yeah, what is going on here?
For the record.
Lindsay Fish, LYNSEY-FISH.
And how are you currently employed?
I'm a detective with Metro National Police Department
And how long have you been employed there?
since 2020.
And did you ever have an occasion to make the scene in an incident involving Ms. Jade Benning at Vanderbilt Medical Center?
I did.
And would have been around February 25th of 2023?
Correct.
And in what capacity did you show up on the scene?
I was a patrol officer.
Were you wearing a body worn camera?
I was.
Was it activated?
It was.
The court officer is handing you a photo, and I want you to take a look at it. Do you recognize it?
Yes.
Does it purport to be a still image of your body worn camera from that night?
It is.
And is it a fair and accurate depiction of from your body worn camera that you were wearing that night?
Yes.
Has it been altered in any way?
It doesn't appear to be.
Your Honor, at this time, I would ask that this be entered into evidence as a defense exhibit 3, I believe, or what?
Yeah, we're putting it in that.
55, I'm sorry. Permission to publish on?
Okay.
Can you describe what you see in the scene here?
This is the entrance to the ER of Vanderbilt Hospital.
So this is can you circle this right here? That pole, can you circle it on the screen, please? What is that?
It's a form of metal detector.
And if a guest were to come into the emergency room, would they have to go past that metal detector?
They do.
You see this person with that mask on right here?
Yes.
Can you circle that individual, please? Do you know what that individual is doing?
He is the security officer for Vanderbilt and was checking people in as they go.
And that's what he was doing that night.
Yes.
And to the best of your
And two things. One, if you're ever in Nashville and you need to go to the ER, don't go to Vanderbilt unless you were shot. I'm just saying, it's a teaching hospital. I mean, Adelson Hader, this is a great point. I listened to Monica Jordan talk about how, as a PI, she doesn't write anything down because it becomes discoverable. Might explain why the defense's doctor doesn't have a written report.
recollection was this individual alone, or was there another security guard also present there?
There was other security there.
And to the best of your recollection, were they doing their job?
So that's my recollection, yes.
Sweet Caroline, we don't know that they didn't find that. There were a lot of hearings and motions and a lot of excluded stuff. So we don't know that.
Did you ever have an opportunity to speak with a Miss Brown that night?
Yes.
I want to remind y'all, Blaise retained a defense attorney the next day after the incident, plus a private investigator. Okay. And they wouldn't turn over the phone, and then it just happened to be lost. You know who else got an attorney?
One second, I want to go right back to exhibit number 55.
Yeah.
Can you tell me what, if anything, that security guard is wearing on the face?
The mask?
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Is that a mask that they're wearing in this photo?
Yeah.
What about the individual that appears to be checking in? Is that individual also wearing a mask?
Yes.
And so was that a standard protocol and procedure that night that people entering into the hospital with had to wear masks?
Yes.
So Vanderbilt had a standard protocol in March or February of 2023. You had to wear a mask. Two brown eyes, lots of useless testimony. They got nada. Mm-hmm.
Now,
Yeah.
I just want to try to
I just went live like 20 something minutes ago. We're just watching some clips from today.
orientate the jury to, when you say you were one of the first officers on the scene that day,
Correct.
would that mean that you would have come before detectives, any detectives would have arrived?
Yes.
Yes, Letitia, the attorney. This is her husband, Ed, on the stand here, and they live in Houston, Texas.
Did you have the opportunity to speak with a Miss Andrea Brown?
I did.
And do you know who that is?
It was
I mean, on the other channel, you know, where you went to watch Miss Kitty and Melissa, I don't think that person wants my name in the chat, and I'm just gonna say that. I don't know what happened, but whatever. Maybe they just don't want like another channel promoted, so I'm just letting it go.
Ms. Benning's stepmom.
And do you recall,
Closer to the mic.
and do you recall while speaking to her that Ms. Burks got on the phone?
I don't know who Ms. Burke is.
Ms. Burks would be the mother of Mrs. Benning.
Yes,
She did in fact get on the phone,
yes,
and you were present for that.
I was.
And what, if anything, did you instruct them while you were in the presence of Mrs. Browning with Mrs. Burks on the phone?
I just informed them of what was going on and asked them if they had any questions.
And did they inquire about whether or not there was an investigation going on?
They did.
And what did you tell them?
I told them that there was an investigation going on.
Did you inform them that detectives will be
Who
coming?
is this? Holy. I'll have who has worse hair than Wendy for 100. What the hell? Oh, God bless it. Oh, wait. Yeah, it's her husband. Yeah, one day I was like, I don't know who that guy is. He's just like her bitch. And then I'm like, oh my God, they're married. You know, I don't know if it's that person. I don't know if it's somebody who moderates for that person or behind the scenes for that person, but I am just telling you that, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I've always been a big fan of that channel, but I've been put in timeout last 2 nights.
Go ahead with your question.
Thank you. Could you please state your name for the record, please?
My name is Nia Gutierrez.
And Ms. Gutierrez, how are you employed?
I am a Tennessee licensed private investigator and a Texas licensed private investigator.
And how long have you been a licensed investigator?
In Texas for about a total of 7 years, and in Tennessee, I'm coming up on 1 year.
And did you
You know what? That is the job I should get. Because let me tell you, if she can do this, I can. How much do they make? Cat Ride. Did I see the Prof. Joe on Donna Dumb Lawyers? Yes, I love her videos. And I wish she was watching this trial. But we are. We're going to start doing monthly lives. I need to get with her on that. Ariel, that is so sweet. You like the happy place. Yeah, we have a good chat. We have a good group here. Welcome, everybody.
recently moved to Tennessee?
Yes, last year.
Right, John?
And what company do you work for in terms of for investigations?
Out of Texas, I work for Willis and Associates, and out of Tennessee,
Look, I know I'm known for my hair. I get it. My hair is extremely thick. But at least brush your hair, you know?
it is Covert Results.
And how long has Covert Results been in business?
Since 2017 or 2018, I believe.
Did you have an opportunity to go out to the Ontario apartment where Ms. Benning lived?
Yes,
And when you went out to the apartment, did you have an occasion to view the apartment where Ms. Benning lived?
yes, I did, on the exterior with the door closed.
Also, did you have an opportunity to view the marquee for the apartment?
Yes, I did.
I want to draw your attention. Do you have with you photographs?
I don't know what she was trying to prove with this. Melissa, remember the other night when you were like, love y'all, but I'm going to another channel? It was that one. I was just like, my feelings have really been hurt. Oh yeah, Sharon, I thought they were trying to show that about that. No, it wasn't that channel, Quilting Gal. Susan, yeah, I was shocked when I was put in timeout. Yeah, people were asking me questions and then I couldn't reply. And I was like, you know what? This is crazy. But always like I don't know. I don't know what happened. I have ideas, but I don't know.
I have something else not to put photographs with me.
No, nobody go there and be mad. Just, it's fine. I mean, I'm still gonna listen. I'm just not gonna comment anymore. I'm not saying the name. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Yeah, John, I was there. I had a few comments. People were asking me questions, and then immediately was put in timeout. So
I believe you should have that photograph in your packet there.
Yes,
Okay. Do you recognize that?
yes.
Can you find that in your packet and can I get my copy back?
I'm sorry, this picture is not in my packet.
Okay, that's fine. Do you recognize that photo that you
Yes.
took?
Yes,
And what is that a photo of?
it is a picture of the marquee of the incident location demonstrating the physical address of the apartment complex.
Okay, now I have it so that I can publish to the jury. Is it in the same fashion in the way that you photographed it?
Melissa, exactly. I was shocked. I'm not gonna. This is just stupid. They just show like it gets good after lunch or really right before lunch. Let's see, Leslie Jordan up to the mic.
No, no.
And now see the exhibit.
Audrey, I love your hair.
Yes, sir. Well, you said that you were employed by Covert Investigations. Did I get the name right?
Yes, and Wilson Associates.
Okay, okay. And is that based in Texas with an office here, or is it totally Texas?
The Wilson Associates firm is based out of Houston, Texas, and Covert is here out of Nashville,
It is true. So this girl just said she got her Tennessee license almost a year ago. So she must have gotten it for this case, right?
Tennessee.
Okay, and so when were you retained? When were your Covert or?
Are you asking if I've been retained through which firm?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, well, I've been retained under Wilson Associates since before my move to Tennessee on this case.
I was just trying to get the time lined down. And
Melissa, it's not. I'm just, it's not.
with respect to this particular case, when were you retained?
Covert Results was retained at some point on the case after Wilson Associates, but is my understanding, to my knowledge,
You retained on this case.
I
Start billing.
I'm billing under Willis.
When did you start?
Oh, early 2024.
And what is early 2024?
I would say probably March.
Do you have records of that?
Yes, according to timesheets that I turn in, correct.
Do you have those with you?
I do not, but I can get them if needed.
Did you have any?
Yeah. So Christy Adams had asked me in the chat last night. I asked Leslie last night, but you were gone. How is Blaise's demeanor during breaks? Is he jolly or laughing or more somber? And then I had written a very nice response. And when I hit send, it said you're in timeout. So, he's just kind of like just doesn't look scared, but like just kind of there. He's been a competitive athlete, so I think those people are in a different mind space. But when I saw him walking to lunch that one day, he's with his friend. He's just like, oh yeah, laughing, just walking to lunch. Unbelievable. And then one morning he was laughing with her. I mean, the jury wasn't there, but he doesn't look at the jury. He just kind of looks down like this. I mean, he hasn't looked really too phased, but I heard today he got antsy.
Other involvement as an investigator with this case prior to, when you say early 2020?
What does timeout mean? I guess you have the option to where someone can't comment for 15 minutes. It could be an hour. It could be the rest of the live. I mean, I haven't been banned, but that's probably coming now that I've outed it.
No.
Were you familiar with this apartment complex prior to being?
No,
detained?
I was not.
Now, Ontario is an apartment complex on Devon Pike, you're in Nashville, Davidson County, Tennessee.
Yes,
And this sign is at the entrance, correct?
at the entrance, correct, main entrance.
And
Okay, this
Miss, what you say is Miss Benning. Those are my questions. I'll submit it.
see, he looks more nervous here to me. Oh, look at his chair. Oh yeah.
Good morning.
Morning.
Can you please state and spell your name for the record?
Sheila Peters, Sheila Peters.
And how are you currently employed?
I am an associate professor at Fish University, and I also operate private practice.
It's not fish, it's Fisk. The closed caption just didn't put that. Fisk.
Private practice in what?
Clinical psychology.
Did you have to go through or undergo any schooling for that?
Yes.
What's
You're not objective. You're not calling her as an expert.
This is background information, Your Honor, if I may.
Okay, go ahead.
Did you have to undergo any schooling for that?
Yes.
What kind?
Undergraduate degree, as well as a master's and a doctorate.
From where?
Undergraduate degrees from University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, my master's and my PhD from Vanderbilt University.
I mean, dang, she's got to be really smart. Chapel Hill and then Vanderbilt for 2.
Dr. Peters, have you
Probably has a ton of debt.
ever been employed with the Tennessee Titans?
Yes.
In what capacity?
As the team clinician.
And in that role, what were you expected to do?
In that role, I was expected to provide support and assessment for players, coaches, and the entire organization.
And when you say support, what, if any, difference is there between support and clinical work?
My role was to help anyone that was experiencing any kind of distress and determine.
So what I want to know is if I stay for closings and then they get to the jury, well, I'll get to see the 4 alternates they pull. I'm pretty sure they do that like in public. So then I'm going to be very curious. That's why I'm going tomorrow. And then you know what? If it gets pushed to Wednesday, I'll take another freaking day off. They can all chill without me.
What their best treatment would be.
Did you ever come to know?
I think it's either going to be a conviction or a hung jury. That's my opinion. Tennessee generally has pretty good juries, but I mean, I also had Tennessee people on that federal jury duty, and that was a hot mess.
Oh, Mr. Blaise Taylor?
Yes.
How?
During the playing season, on average, I would attend 1 practice a week, and I would see him as I would see other individuals coming out to practice.
And in those general interactions, what was, if any, your impression of him?
No, I object to that.
Impression,
We're not having.
When you interacted with him, what, if any,
I'll sustain the objection.
All right, see this girl over here in this brown suit? She's like the one that runs back and forth, and she wears these really high heels, and like I almost wonder if it's her child. I don't know. Like she's young, but a professional. Yes, I agree, Cheryl. At the time of his arrest, the defendant did not have possession of his previous phone. There would have been a lot of GPS and text message evidence on that phone, for sure. Dreamscape, he looks disconnected. I agree. And I've never seen one interaction with his parents. And that could be very coached, like don't talk or whatever. Because when he goes in the bathroom to go to the hall, Ed, this big attorney over here, escorts him. Ernie on Sesame Street. Yeah. Why can't we be friends? Oh, Christy, that's sweet. Let's start a retirement fund for Leslie so she can quit her day job and cover trials for us. Yeah. Well, you're very sweet. Thank you. Yeah. Well, when you go to prison, don't they shave your head for lice control? Yes. His mom and dad are front row, far left, as close to him as they can be, and his sister is there too. They look worried. I mean, the mom is just, and she has her PhD in social work.
And what is it, hang on a second, ma'am, what is this witness being offered for?
This
No.
witness is being offered in the
No, Miss Kitty, it's not you. There were just a lot of people like, "Oh, yeah, Leslie B's going to the trial. It's great." Da, da, da. Whoever it is just did not want that in the chat and just shut me down.
regards to the NMS reports. To the NMS reports that were tendered to the defense in regards to
Yes.
the blood and urine of Ms. Benning. And the testing of that blood and urine that went to the cause of death in this particular
And
case.
you're wanting her declared an expert in what field?
And laboratory testing and toxicology.
Is she a toxicologist?
She is.
Okay. And the state's objection is what?
That we have no report, we have her CV, but no report to know what the parameters of her.
Do you have a report from her?
She didn't give a report. She looked at the evidence.
Notes? Do you have any report? So no, I'm asking you, do you have any information from her that would be considered a statement?
I don't, Your Honor. I asked
I'm
her.
not talking about you, I'm talking about your firm, your counsel.
No, I am from the council. We don't have anything. I've met with her on several occasions. I have my work product, but I don't have any notes from her.
So she's never emailed you or anything like that?
Of course. But it wasn't a report.
Her notes?
I don't have notes from her. She may have emailed me in regards to what time is the Zoom call or are we?
She didn't have a report.
No.
So what do you want me to do?
And we would hear her testimony out of the presence of the jury for the court to determine whether it will materially assist.
I feel bad for that jury, y'all. They had to sit in that jury room a lot today, and you're not allowed to talk about the case in there. So, you're basically talking about the weather. They're probably talking about how hot it's going to be in Nashville this week. It's going to be really, really hot. And you don't have your phone because all of that's left out. So they're just sitting there. Diva, you live in Memphis. Well, thanks for joining our chat.
This, the jury, and basically it became a hearing.
So you're thinking this particular witness isn't qualified as a toxicologist?
No, it's the substance of what she testified about that we have no knowledge. She just now says about NMS. Well, if we had a report, we might know whether to have.
Some people don't do reports for.
Oh, Cat Rod, I'm so glad the judge spoke about people running in and out. It is their staff and they are in and out and the doors slam. So when I came in one day, it was like 10 minutes after somebody started and I let it, like I held it with my hands and like let it slowly close. It's just like slamming like a cafeteria.
Practical reasons.
Yes. And up here, since the witness has a notebook with her, that we need some, there's nothing else, Jake's material.
What's all that?
Your Honor, it is my brief notes to prepare for testimony today and the NMS reports that were provided.
Okay. Do they have a right to look at that?
Sure.
Okay. How long do you need to do that? See, this just, the jury's back there thinking, I won't say what they're thinking.
Prior to the last trial, when we had this come up, let me recall that the court said witnesses would be excluded if they did not prepare a report. And here we are now without a report,
I don't know if I said that.
as well as counsel saying that they were only intending to call Eric Devlin.
Well, I don't know who that is. I mean, this person is listed on this witness list.
We have provided the state,
Plainville.
we have provided the state a full list of all of our experts and a brief summary of what they are to testify about. The rules and the statute does not require that every expert draft a report. Any notes that Dr. DeGarry may have, I don't have those notes. And which they are more than willing to look at whatever notes that she's made in order to assist herself in this testimony in the same manner Dr. Bethune had to give me notes when she turned over almost 10 pages of notes to
Do
me.
you have all of your notes pulled out?
Right, here's the-
Do you want to look at those, the state want to look at those before she testifies?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Run copies of those, Mr. Evans. And of Dr. Bartolome, Dr. Larkin, and Dr. Lindsay. How many of those do you plan on calling?
All of them.
Do they have notes?
I can find out.
Do they have reports?
They do not have reports. All of our experts, Your Honor,
It's just amazing. Like they're just pulling these people out. I love the one guy today, and he's like, "Yeah, no, I'm sure he's a lovely man, but no."
reviewed all of the toxicology reports in this case. There were almost 13 toxicology reports in this case that needed to be interpreted. There were litigation packets that went along with those toxicology reports that were out of the purview of counsel's knowledge. We're not scientists, so we had to actually confer with experts in order to understand the science in this case.
Sure.
And so we hired experts to assist us to do
Okay.
that.
Can you have someone get from those other three doctors their notes that they would be using to testify?
I certainly can.
And get those to the state?
I certainly can.
All right, go ahead and do that. How long is the state meeting?
We were very much under the impression, based off of Your Honor's prior rulings in the hearings, that if they did not provide us reports, their experts would not be allowed to testify. We would have had Dr. Mithun stay so that she could be in the courtroom and listen to this, so that we could recall her as a witness. We are without our experts, which is exactly what we said when we asked Your Honor to exclude them, and
I
they
don't
did
think I
not
can
provide a
exclude them
report.
when they don't provide a report.
Mm.
The rule talk about turning over a report discovery if there is one.
You know, the state didn't give us notes of all of their experts.
They got
I don't
the
know.
litigation packet, that is their
You said you had 1,300 pages.
We asked for that litigation packet and paid for it ourselves. The state did not provide it to us. We provided it to them.
Letitia, you didn't pay for it. Trooper paid for it.
Do you want time to get Dr. Carney or anyone else up here?
There's our toxicologist in Pennsylvania.
We never said we
I
want.
didn't ask you to say anything. But what do you want me to do? Declare a mistrial? Delay it till next Monday?
Would Your Honor allow us to contact Dr. Mithun and see if she is available to watch it by video, so we can at least confer with her after this witness testifies? If she was present today, she would be allowed in the courtroom.
Sure, she can go on, as I'm understanding it, live streaming and watch it.
May I step out to get in touch with her to see if she's available to do that?
All right, get those other notes. We'll be in a 15-minute recess.
The judge is so pissed. And he should be. I was really nervous about today. I don't know what I was expecting, but I thought, oh, they're going to have all these great. I didn't know what they were going to have. Well,
I'm asking the council.
Okay.
Are we ready to hear the jury out? Whatever her name is? Yes, no, maybe? Is the state
Audrey, I had to fill up my car on the way home because I'm leaving early to get to court.
ready?
Yes, Judge, we were just, honestly, to expedite the process, we are no longer asking for the jury out. We have our toxicologist that's on the link, and if Your Honor's going to allow the witness, we won't conduct.
Okay. Well, do you want to be heard on her qualifications and all, and I can do that?
Not as a grant.
Okay.
Agree. They call me mommy.
Dr. Mithun is to be recalled.
I haven't heard anything. I don't know nothing.
We should get your idea of like notes and emails as well. please.
What are you talking about?
I said, who she is, so that we can get ahead of it. We would like notes and emails as well, please.
Notes and emails about what?
Her testimony and her notes. She,
She would be, as you said, offered as rebuttal.
and I would like it.
Raise your right hand and just bring the jury down.
Here's the thing here for today. There's not a mod in that channel. Like, so it could be somebody somewhere else that's logged into the account doing it. But like there's not a mod. I mean, anyway, I don't know. Whatever. At first I thought it was a mistake, but when it happened again the next night, it's not a mistake.
We just got handed, are these more notes for her?
Shut the door there. Did you give this earlier when we were in here, all of your notes?
That I had with me? Yes.
I have 4 pages that she handed us.
What is all of this?
I just got handed this.
We printed what you asked us to print for notes.
For this witness?
Yes,
I thought she provided it.
you wanted emails, so I.
No, I didn't want emails.
You
I
asked,
asked her for notes.
she gave her notes,
What are these?
my email.
These
I
are not,
didn't ask for emails.
these are not emails. I just got a whole stack of notes.
What is all this stuff?
That was you had asked earlier if I had sent her work product of what I was doing as I was reviewing the data, and that's what that is. That's what I sent to her a long time ago prior to preparing for testimony. This was my analysis.
I think Letitia likes to just create like all this confusion and chaos, but this judge is smart and he sees through it. I mean, he calls her out later and is like, yeah, you're trying to confuse the jury. And I think the jury's going to see through it. I really, really, really do. Patricia, you think he's rude? No, I think he's great. I think I like it. The first day I was like, whoa, but now I love him.
Going through the data.
So she did give you notes.
Sounds like a
Let me see what you have, I don't know what you have.
That's not,
That's what you emailed them, and somebody printed these out for you.
it's not a report. There's not an opinion.
the state would need more
This
objection
is
to this witness.
This is the exact same thing that is a snip of the litigation act. It's all it is.
Okay?
And then
You determine whether most of that is from your witness's litigation package?
There's only, I think, the last 3 pages of this. This is
And then
all
what's the other
notes.
stuff?
May I explain to her what she's looking at?
I'm asking counsel.
If you look, all of this are snippets of the litigation act.
Is all of this snippets from the litigation package?
All of it is derived from the litigation.
And then
What do
there
you
are
mean
notes
derived from?
on top of it.
It's notes on top of it of what I was
From
seeing
who?
from me as I was.
Why didn't you
looking.
give us that earlier?
I didn't have it, sir. I don't have
See,
it.
this is what hide the balls off. You know, I got a jury back here, yes, I'm directing myself to you, that's thinking I'm an idiot because of this trial. The procedure, the logistics, and they're back there wondering what in the heck we're doing. That's why, you know, the intent of Rule 16 is not hide things.
I'm getting the notes in the same number that they gave.
Why
to
did they
me
give
from
them?
Dr.
I'm not worried about how
Mitchell.
they gave them to you. I'm dealing with how you gave them to them.
Well,
Do you think, Mr. Brand, Rule 16 doesn't include providing these notes pre-trial?
no, he did, and so.
No, he didn't. Y'all didn't. I'm asking him, do you think Rule 16 would include, when it says copy, photographs, documents,
It's that bailiff that just came through the door back here, by the way, that thinks I'm Nancy Grace.
reports, and provide the other side, if you've requested discovery? Did that include this stuff?
No, yeah,
How so?
because I think that's probably James material, under 26.2.
But they're reports from what you're proposing to be an expert.
I don't think that's a report. I think it's her working notes as she's reviewing the material, which could be James material, but is not a Rule 16 report.
See, that's the problem with efficiency, which I hate, inefficiency.
Love it. So just so y'all know, so Letitia and her husband, they're out of Houston, Texas. They're not licensed or whatever it is in Tennessee. So this little Dan Flanders, whatever guy, his name is it Brand or Strand? So he's an attorney here in Nashville. So I guess, I don't know what the word is, sponsor or whatever. So it's probably a really bad look on him. Ashley Patty says, do y'all think that Blaise and his family tearing into the defense team for how things are going. I do wonder. Yeah, he does. He put them in their place a lot today.
I appreciate it.
So, do you need additional time now?
Yes, I would like for my expert to be able to have this. I just got handed it. As she was
Can you
literally-
email that to your experts?
Completely disorganized. Judge, I submit that what she has provided is a report that she provided to the defense, and she just said it was a while ago, and the defense did not provide it. We filed a motion to exclude and asked your honor to exclude any witnesses that had not provided us with a report pre-trial.
They're saying that's not a report.
See, this is sneaky. It's like Letitia's like, well, that's not a report. So she's trying to get stuff in. I don't like this at all. I'm shocked they picked these people too.
I mean, do we need to have a jury out to determine if it is? If it is a report, is your honor going to exclude it?
Sure.
Hey, Ms. Hayes, I know. It's just like, I can't get enough of this.
Then I would ask the witness, there be a proffer to the court for the court to make a
That
determination.
can copy or photograph books, papers, documents, photographs, tangible objects, or copies or portions thereof, if the item is in the defendant's custody and intended to be introduced as evidence in their case in chief.
This is not being introduced in our case in chief.
That makes no sense.
Well, it's not being introduced for our case in chief.
So you want to orally ask her all about it and then just.
I'm not doing it the
moving to
same
introduce-
manner that General Norman did.
I'm not dealing with that. I'm dealing with, have you complied with Rule 16?
Yes, I have.
So you're not gonna ask this witness to introduce anything.
No, I'm not.
So what do you want? General Norman?
Well, honestly, I guess maybe my paperwork to go copy it and send it to our expert.
I thought you got an email with that in it.
I haven't even had a chance to look at it, but what the little I looked at, it looks like she typed up a report.
It's not a report.
Where is that? Where's the copy I gave you?
Here it is.
What page in that are you thinking is a report?
There's one that has
Look at the body language over there on the defense side, y'all.
like 7 or 8 pages and a couple of pages of litigation packet in the back.
Well, I'm not worried about the litigation packet.
I'm not either, it's everything that precedes it.
It would look like, I don't know, what, page 47, 48, what are all these notations for the litigation packet?
Yes.
Page 50, 51, so that's just a summary of what she's looking at. 69, 75, 81.
I agree. Huge risk with out-of-town attorneys defaming the victim. The way they talk about Jade today, I don't know how her dad didn't hurdle this little fence thing right here and just go beat the living, you know what? Andrew, I know I thought about that, but I think I could get in a lot of trouble. Like they have to approach me. But I'm trying to get somebody to talk, not on the jury.
How is Honda, this not a report telling you what she's finding in the medical records?
She is regurgitating what is in medical records. It is not an opinion. She's not a doctor. So then she can't give an opinion on a medical record.
Well, it's saying here,
And neither are we planning on introducing it.
See how these bailiffs are though, these two guys over here? They are like they really protect this judge. Like if you notice the attorneys don't hand the judge stuff. Like I feel like they're always approaching Everett, but this guy, it's pretty intense security in there. I agree, shady.
page 75, instrument
Erica,
had an error,
no.
incorrect file, not on our case.
It's
What she
you.
reported to you.
What's in the litigation package? That is not her opinion. That is directly taken from the litigation package.
Okay, what do you want to do, Jerome?
Judge,
Testify.
I think the witness should be excluded.
Okay, other than that, what want to do.
I would ask the court to give us 5 minutes so I can at least have the paperwork in front of me before she starts
Did you
testifying.
get this document through an email?
I don't know. She handed me documents, she emailed me documents. I'm
It
asking
was an
that
email
all,
to the court
I asked
for you
all of
to
them
be
be
on it?
printed. I'm saying I don't think they're the same things. What she handed us and what she emailed us, they are printing it right now.
The emails that I sent over,
And just to remind anybody, like Forensic RNN, I know you haven't really been following this, and I get it. Like, we're all busy. The first day at the trial, she is questioning somebody, and she's like, "Didn't Jade send this text?" Not Jade. Was it Jade or Denija? Anyway, Jade, the victim. She said she sent this text, and it's all about using drugs and all this. And the prosecution's like, "Hold on, Jade didn't send that. Someone else sent it." She's been shady from the get, and her name is Letitia Quinones Hollins.
are nothing but logistics. I sent them over because they're emails.
Sent it to who?
To
No, I'm not
Joe.
talking about emails in the past. I'm talking about, did you email this packet
Patricia, she's been trying to railroad over this courtroom, though. He has to get control. He's the boss.
to the state?
I don't know.
Yes, Your Honor, I believe that the packet that you're holding is included in email to the state that
Did
has
you get this?
several.
I think the same thing, therapist, I think Letitia told the witnesses to not write reports so they didn't have to be turned over. Totally agree.
Email.
Word documents.
I received an email with 7 attachments that say summary of lit package, which sounds like a report. If she is not introducing anything, then I
Do you
request,
want to forward this to your
yes.
Dr. Mitt? Can you do that?
I have forwarded the email. I'm asking that the printed documents, which don't appear to be exactly the same, be scanned in so we can send that, and that's happening right now.
How did I get this if it's not included in an email?
I wasn't in court today. I had so much stuff to do at work because I was there Friday and then did a lot on this weekend. So I knocked out all my stuff with work. My calendar's good for tomorrow. And yeah, I'm going to be at court. And if they still don't do closings, like I'm in for the rest of it.
I'm saying she handed us documents and the emails look like there's additional things.
Who handed you documents?
They did, right when she was walking out
Was
to the.
this packet sent to the state as an email?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you have that?
Yes, Judge, I received.
Maybe that was the issue here for today, that I was posting too much, but I was answering people's questions. And I even said, I'm so happy to be here. Happy you're covering the case.
Received it a few
Okay,
minutes
can you
ago.
forward that to your expert?
I did.
Okay.
The state rested Saturday afternoon, and now today the defense is up. I think they'll wrap up tomorrow.
Do you need additional time?
You know who did not wrap up was Blaise.
I would like to have a copy, but
Andrew, I do, but I have my favorite are the scarves that come in orange boxes. Those are my favorite. But I have a few.
I guess.
Oh, okay, give that to the state.
I'm gonna try and get her on, Sharon. I've had a lot of good discussions with her. I told her, and I don't feel bad saying this. I mean, she's been chatting, but I said, listen, I really want you to get some therapy. I mean, I had a good discussion with her. She's like, I know. She's like, I just wanted to get through this. I said, you're going to need a lot. Like, you've got a lot of trauma. And I'm sitting there watching the raw emotion on that girl. And people like didn't like how she was testifying. And she jumped in her car to drive to her friend's house because people are like, why didn't she call 911? And she said, because I wasn't there. I couldn't see. I couldn't describe to it. And that's when she got there and she was freaking out and wanted to get in the ambulance to go with her friend to the hospital. Thanks, Audrey.
So do you want additional time?
No, you're not.
All right, let the jury step in.
I'm hoping tomorrow, Ms. Hayes, they'll rest. I'm in it, though. I'll be there Wednesday, too. You know why? Because I know, and I'm a sales director, in case y'all didn't know that. Tomorrow's the last day of the month. Already exceeded my number for June, and I've already got half of it for July. So I'm going to miss the end of June and the first day of July.
And Judge, just before they get out here, the state is going to object to her testifying to anything related to any report that was not introduced as evidence in the state's case in chief. She did not introduce NMS reports that have not been introduced.
Okay.
And so,
There's two binders?
no, those are the medical records.
Okay.
So NMS did more testing than what was introduced in our case in chief, and I'm objecting to her testifying to any reports that were not testified to by Dr. Mitten and entered as evidence, because it's irrelevant to this proceeding to talk about other tests that were not presented to the jury.
Okay. Do you agree with that, Ms. Hollis?
I do, because we're
Okay.
only talking about the two.
Good, then we don't have a problem.
That popping noise. There was somebody sitting next to me the other day popping their knuckles like crazy. Exactly. They call me mommy. Means, motive, and opportunity.
Sorry, the testimony you're about to be introduced, and
Yes.
Mhm.
All right. Okay.
Good afternoon, Dr. Gary, how are you?
Good, how are you?
This lady's trying to look all official. She has a USA flag pin on because like the people with the government wear their pins. She got that for 50 cents on Amazon.
I'm good, thank you. Could you please state and spell your name for the record, please?
Dr. Melissa Giguere, MELISSA GIGUERE.
And how are you employed?
I am currently an independent contractor for forensics toxicology and science.
And where are you in terms of company that you work for? Who do you work for?
I currently work for a company that I own. It's MG Forensic Consulting.
And how long have you been a toxicologist?
I started doing toxicology in 2014.
And where did you go to school?
I received my Bachelor of Science at the University of North Texas, and I also received an Industrial Master's from the University of North Texas in Chemistry. An Industrial Master's is different than a regular Master's because I did not have to do it.
So these are basically all of Letitia Quinonez's puppets. And who was it that said it? Somebody said, has she had a lot of directed verdicts? And yes. So this is her website. So she had a directed verdict with one of her cases, and then another one, she got one dismissed before trial. This other one was dismissed in the middle of the trial. So it's a great point. Whoever called that out, sorry, I want to give you credit, but I can't remember who it was.
Thesis. I had to be working in the field and had to write my paper in regards to what I was finding and doing the lab work in the field. And then in 2023, I graduated from Oklahoma State University with a Doctor of Forensic Sciences with an emphasis in toxicology. It is not a PhD, it's a professional doctorate. The difference between a PhD and my doctorate is I didn't have to write a dissertation. I had to be employed in the laboratory, and all of my papers were based on
Professional what?
data that I produced while working in a laboratory.
And how long would you say that you worked directly in a toxicology laboratory?
Just over 10 years.
And have you been peer reviewed with your work? And have you also peer reviewed others and their work?
Are you referring to peer reviewed and just releasing my data and someone reviewing my work prior for release?
Yes.
Yes, I've done both ways.
At this time, we would tender Dr. Giguere as an expert in laboratory toxicology.
Any questions on that request from the state? All right, ladies and gentlemen, the jury would still allowed to give an expert opinion in her field. Like I told you before, you can place such weight on it as you choose.
And do you have a curriculum vitae in regards to your training, experience, and education?
Yes, I do.
At this time, Your Honor, I would tender Dr. Giguere's CV.
All right.
If any of y'all watched the Karen Reed trial, the best was when that Shannon Burgess guy took the stand. Hey, Sweet Pea. Hey, Little Miss Red Velvet.
You want her to see it?
No, but just,
Okay, just give it to the clerk.
Dr. Jagari, have you had the opportunity to work in labs that are accredited by the ANAB?
Yes, I have. I did my full 10 years working with an ISO ANAB accredited laboratory.
And what exactly is ANAB?
So ISO 17025 is it's an international standard that people who do quantitative results have to follow this standard. It is, if you look up pharmaceutical companies, petroleum companies, they follow it as well. So then you have ANAB, which is a subsidiary more for forensics that you have to follow. And so it gives a little more guidelines to be more for science versus petroleum or some other company that could have ISO. But then it goes a little further, it goes into ASV, which is an American Standards Board, and they produce guidelines and standards specifically for forensic toxicology. So you have a blanket overview and then you kind of narrow down into a final from there.
And can you tell us some of the things that are required in order to be accredited, such as chain of custody, such as keeping things stored at proper temperatures and things of that nature?
Sure. So the accreditation is very, the ANAB standard itself is very.
I'm gonna get up to Jan.
Any way to do a Zoom link and do official?
Is there any way that Dr. Benning could just have an audio line? I mean, how do you do it on the cell phone?
Let Joe, the jury, if you'll step back down the hallway.
I will tell you, when I was a juror and we had a lot of this in and out, anytime they did that, I always made a big note in my notebook, like what was going on, because I knew there was something they didn't want us to hear or know. Same with objections. I would write in all caps, like who was on the witness stand, and I would write in all caps, objection. It made me want to listen more. We have some awesome lawyers. I don't know why they did this, but the parents live in Texas. So they probably, who knows?
I don't know of any way to do a Zoom link and do officially what we're talking about doing in this trial. Is she somewhere that she can relocate or get better internet?
She said she tried it on Wi-Fi and also her cell phone. She was in the car driving and drove to a location so that she could do this. She said if she could just be on a phone line so she could hear what is said, that would be sufficient. Is that a possibility?
That's true. Trooper's a coach, and I bet he does have a little chat.
I don't know how well she'll be able to hear, but we can call her from that phone up there.
Yeah, Adelson Hader, maybe he could have pled to manslaughter. I don't know.
As long as she's not speaking.
She wouldn't be speaking.
You want to come punch in her number? Yeah, hit speaker.
Dr. Collins, this is Carrie.
Dr. Benning, this is Tina Norman.
I can, yes.
So I have you the report.
Okay.
Can we ask the witness to say something to see if she can hear?
Can you hear me, doctor?
Yes, I can. It's a little difficult, but I can hear you.
Okay, can you turn the volume up on all the mics?
And this is crazy. Jan is on her iPhone. They're getting the medical examiner from Nashville on so that she can hear this person. or whatever, the lab person. Yeah, I agree. I don't think he ever intended for Jade to die. That is the worry we hear on the 911 call. A deadly, thank you.
All right, can you stay?
No.
A little bit.
I work today. See, I set my timer to end this, but I'm not going to.
Can you state your name, please, ma'am, for the record?
Melissa Jaguar.
You'll have to speak up into that mic.
Melissa Jaguar.
Can you hear that?
Yes, that's much better. Thank you.
All right, bring the jury back down.
Yeah, I'm not going up to jurors. I'm not doing that.
Judge, Dr. Mendon couldn't hear the report number. Can we just let her know that we're talking about 2312688?
231
2688.
26889.
Yeah, I don't think you can go up to a juror. I'm not going to jail for this. Mm-hmm.
Into this little that are
I'm
not
going to
in the
get this
communication
up
log,
to
just
Jan
until you
questioning.
was open and still present. They extracted at the same as the, I believe,
Now, let's,
not my share speed reader.
Just Dr. Mendon with this person, if I could just have a few minutes to speak to her.
Okay, all right, we'll take a 5-minute break.
All right, hold on. I got to get to my other. By the way, do y'all ever watch this guy? I love his channel. JD, a lawyer explains. He's really good. I highly recommend it. Very educational, like little 20-minute videos. He's precious.
yes.
Do you want her to go, so you want me to order them to do that?
Judge, I'm simply asking if we could have a jury out so your honor can make a determination if Dr. Waterman will be allowed to testify, because we just received a report that we have not had. It has an opinion and a conclusion about the cause of death of Jade Benning.
I haven't even seen that.
Can't hear that.
So if she gave him the report, it's
Wait,
not
your
something.
staff said they had everything.
That's been emailed. When they said that they emailed that over, that is what they emailed over.
We,
This morning, I mean, this afternoon, I don't even know if it was morning.
She
Let me see
prepared
what
it
you're
for her testimony there.
is it a report?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it a report?
She misstated evidence.
Take a look and I'll let you know.
Okay.
Well, I'd ask the court to make that determination.
This doesn't have closed captioning on the second half of today. Yeah.
Judge, we received
I
it.
gotta get the definition of what a report.
Hey, Java Queen, thank you. The defense looks really worried. Yeah, I like him too, Lee. Lee, do you live in Nashville? Yep. She told him no reports. She knows. She should be called Loophole Letitia.
It is definitely her opinion, so, but this is not something that we've had in the past. This is something that she formulated for her testimony.
Wait,
I'm assuming, I would have to ask the property yesterday.
letter, is it a she?
Yes, I'm sure it's yesterday.
Therapist, you know, it's
Dr. Kelly.
it's not a channel I've ever seen you in.
No, she's not here yet. She is my last witness.
Yep.
So I was under the assumption that I could call my witness.
Thank you, Java.
That's normally the case. I was just trying to help do this jury out here.
The courtroom has not been that packed. I have a feeling it will be more tomorrow.
It's where?
they're putting it on a thumb drive, so
I'm talking about copies, hard copies that I can look at and see if they're relevant.
we don't have a printer here, so we would have to go back to
We
the
don't have a
school's
printer
office. We do, but it's not paper. So we don't have paper here. So we have to go to the last week.
What's your staff?
Now, I'm not entirely sure what that is, but I did receive the email sent on 3, which I did.
Why didn't Ms. Hollins know that you were, why didn't you pop up and say, hey, wait a minute, whoop, whoop, wait a minute?
I could have, Your Honor, I did check my email, unfortunately.
So you didn't get that until when? Or when did you, I know it was sent 10:03, when did you get it?
I believe whenever we was anticipating breaking for lunch, Your Honor, I double checked my email.
Anticipating, when was that?
We came back at 1:50, so it had been around an hour before that.
Okay, so when Ms. Hollins was saying that's it, and confirmed with Ms. Miller or whoever this young lady is, that that's it, you knew it wasn't?
No, sir, I did not know it was.
Oh, I thought you said you looked at it in anticipation of lunch. Let me see if that.
I'm just shocked more people are not following this trial, y'all.
Anticipating getting into information in this document.
What information specifically are you referencing, Your Honor?
The sensitivity of identifying a woman with a substance abuse use problem is 80 to 88%, and sensitivity is 35 to 37%. I have no idea what that means, but that's what I'm asking.
It is my understanding that Dr. Mario has treated pregnant women with substance abuse issues. Substance use issues, rather, not abuse, but substance use issues.
So
What does that have to do with this case?
We have a pregnant woman who we believe had substance use issues, Your Honor.
And then he's gonna say what?
He's going to opine in his professional opinion about whether or not being pregnant is a barrier or an automatic stoppage to a person using substances.
Well, everybody in the nation knows that.
It's not like when it comes from Texas,
did y'all hear that? He's like, everybody in the nation knows that. Yeah, so there's 16 people that are in the jury box, but 4 will be alternates.
This goes back to our previous objection to
So
this.
you're wanting, hang on, you're wanting this jury to hear from Mr. Dr.
Yeah.
Bartholomew that pregnant women should not use drugs, alcohol, or illicit substances.
No, not that, Your Honor. There's been an assertion in the state's case in chief that once Ms. Benning became pregnant, any prior use stopped.
Do you have proof from Dr. Bartholomew that she did?
I just feel so bad for her parents sitting there and just hearing them talk like this about their daughter, y'all. It's awful. Do I think them shamelessly blaming the victim is working? No. These look like normal people. I bet they have kids. I bet they.
That she did stop?
No, that she did use.
We
Yeah,
believe that she
agree.
continued to be involved in
Does he know that?
Yes, he's reviewed the records in this case, Your Honor.
What record?
He's reviewed medical records, he's reviewed text messages, he's
What
reviewed.
medical records show that she was using drugs?
Medical records show the absence of a test while she was pregnant, Your Honor.
Absence of a what?
Testing, drug testing. Actually, there was
So
testimony
does that mean she used?
No, that does not mean that she used, but she did have cocaine in her system, which suggests that she could have.
Everybody, they're saying she used too much cocaine.
Y'all, but they were silent on alcohol, Your Honor, and there's cocaine in her system.
Yeah, and that can be argued for the jury. So what does Dr. Bartholomew have any information directly about Ms. Benning's drug usage?
He has direct information that was derived from the text messages in her phone, that was derived from the medical records, specifically regarding the OB/GYN records, where there
We
wasn't
get
any
that,
testing.
they didn't do it, so that's just a non-issue. What else?
So, Your Honor, it goes, those two things are central to our defensive theory. If the state is wanting to allege she could have not taken the substance because she was pregnant.
Mm.
Yeah, she could have taken a substance.
I know, Your Honor, that's not the argument we made.
Does the state agree she could have taken a substance?
In the, anything,
Yes,
as long as
sir.
there's no evidence, there's no proof about that, all
Does
of
the
the
state
contrary.
agree that Ms. Benning could have taken a substance?
And this witness would not materially assist the
Well, the
jury
answer is yes.
in understanding that.
Okay. All right, we'll have a jury out as to whether he has any relevant information and whether this should have been provided to the state.
Your Honor, I just received a text from Mr. Wiseman in regards to his witness, Dr. Bukalari.
What?
He is asking if it's possible to put this witness on prior to the planning of the deposition. I told him that I would speak with the court. She should be very short. And
That's
so,
up to you. You said it had to be this deposition next.
I just didn't want it to be Dr. Larkin for certain, but I can accommodate.
You said
Dr.
you wanted to
Bukalari.
put this deposition
I
on
do.
next.
I do.
So
but I
you
don't
want to
mind
call
Dr.
Dr.
Bukalari.
Brucolari next or the deposition?
I can, if you'll allow, I will let him know that he can bring her over. She's very.
She's not even here.
No, it seems like
Okay,
he's at.
bring the jury down. We'll play this deposition.
Mhm.
One last thing, do we have anything from Dr. Jancy Lindsay?
We just turned it over.
Is that the notes that you were throwing around?
Those
too?
are not even notes. Those are articles that she relies on. It's not Jinx material. It's not anything that we are turning over or trying to admit, but out of an abundance of caution, we turned it over. So you have what we have.
So no notes or no reports?
We gave you notes as well.
It doesn't matter what's been said, it could change.
They're not supposed to be, they are.
Doesn't say.
They're from Dr. Lindsay. That's what you asked for, that's what you have.
Let the jury step in.
Andrew, you're cracking me up. Like a medical degree from a Caribbean university. Oh, I think Blaise is very nervous. Hey, Tiff, Knox, and replay. Thank y'all. I agree. Can y'all imagine this judge would have shut down Harvey and Donna's BS? This was stupid.
Mrs. Smith, could you please state your full name for the record? Alyssa Smith. And
So they played this lady's deposition, but I'm going to move on. I'm going to get to other stuff.
In what, one of those work order numbers?
This work order
No, the
is,
one she just showed you on her file there.
no. It's not.
On the manila file, you had two.
this work order that's, the email is about, is this work order that is not in evidence. The email is about something that is not in evidence.
Is that accurate?
I'm not trying to enter those results, Your
Oh,
Honor. I am trying to simply enter an email from this witness.
Right.
Referencing. a
show this witness that email and she can clear up what work order it's about.
I think I have my outfit picked out. I think I'm wearing my hot pink blazer. Yes, his parents are front left row, front left, and hers are front right. And I've watched them walk right past each other. It's as if there's like nobody there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Y'all, if you ever you're in a lawsuit, gonna go to court, you always want to have a local attorney.
And I included.
Hang on.
Basically, Letitia's just trying to get in a bunch of like evidence and things. People don't have notes. They just want these people to come up there and testify and let the jury hear it, but Jan doesn't know like what they're going to say. Mm-hmm. Do y'all think Blaise told his dad what was going on when he called him before 911? Yeah, I do think too much time on irrelevant.
All of that information you're looking at, Doctor, concerning 225, 23, 22, 59 years.
So, as best to my memory, it is not. This is in reference to a different specimen number. So at the time this was done, which is April 6, 2023, there was some differences in lab collection dates and times to what was matched in the EPIC record. I am pretty sure this is referencing the lab that was actually done at 2/26, 2023 at 9:22 a.m. And this specimen did not ever go to CFSRE because it went back to the crime lab. So
Okay.
this is
What
not.
about what you're wanting to ask about?
So I'm not interested in getting in the results of that test. I am simply interested.
She's saying this email applies to a total another work order that wasn't sent in MS.
Again, I am not trying to enter into evidence any results from any test.
But why would you want an email about a test that wasn't tested?
Because there's a date on there that is very important to my
Ask her what you
client's
wanted to
case.
ask.
Thank you. Is there a date that you are referencing in your email, Dr. Brooklyn?
Yes, and I am saying at that time, it was incorrect, because when you backtrace this work order to the specimen ID into the EPIC medical record, it is a different date and time, which was not discovered until after this email was sent.
And that's fine. I just want to reference the actual date that you have in that email. Back on April, I believe it's the 6th of 2023.
The date that I have is 2/25/23 at 22:59.
Thank you. That's all I needed. And then,
She's saying that's not accurate.
I understand.
So you're
The
entitled to
state-
introduce relevant evidence, not evidence that's not relevant.
The state has made it an issue that that date is not accurate. They have made that
So
an
that
issue.
date's accurate.
May I finish, Your Honor?
You're saying the state's saying 2/25/23 and 22/59 is not accurate?
That is correct. They have stated that in their
No,
case
they're
in
not
chief.
stating that. That's accurate. But you're asking about another work order that's not been testified to in the record, so how do we know what the results were?
I'm not trying to get into the results.
But you're
Of
wanting
that
an email
test.
to confuse the jury about what's going on here, right?
Sir, I'm not.
Well, I'm not allowed to see email, so is anything
No.
else?
That's fine.
All right, let the jury stay.
I'm not done. I have another test.
Yeah.
As I stated, there is another work order that Dr. Brucaleri is aware of where Ms. Benning tested positive for cocaethylene. I simply want her to have the opportunity to testify about that because
What
it goes to
work
my
order is that?
clients. It is work order number 2023-0090.
Is that tested
Yes, it was.
by Vanderbilt?
Yes, it was tested by Vanderbilt, but what's in question is what went to CSFRE, which is,
What?
it went to the Center for Forensic Research and Education.
It's true, Andrew.
But your hospital tested it and it showed what?
So it went to NMS lab. So our hospital drew it, sent it to NMS
The
lab.
hospital didn't test it.
Our hospital sent it for extended drug screening to NMS. I do not,
Vanderbilt Hospital test what she's asking about.
could you repeat the question, Your Honor?
Did Vanderbilt Hospital test what this lawyer's asking about?
I don't know if they ran tests on that sample
She doesn't know.
themselves.
She has personal knowledge that Ms. Benning tested positive for cocaine.
Is that accurate?
Yes,
From what source?
that's from the Center for Forensic Research and Education.
She didn't do the test.
But she has personal knowledge, and she's a toxicologist, Your Honor. And she's treated Jade
But
Benning.
you want everything to be reliable, right?
No, what I would like is
I
for
don't want
this,
everything to be reliable.
may I finish, sir, please?
Just answer my question.
I
You
would
want
love-
all the test results to be reliable.
I would love for that,
Okay.
but
Well,
that's
we
not
don't
the
have the
case.
people that did this test. Did you subpoena them?
I don't need the people to be.
Well, then
that
she
test.
can't testify about the results of someone else's test.
She can testify about her personal knowledge
She doesn't
because
have personal knowledge.
she just told you she did.
It's from another testing agency.
It doesn't matter, she got,
Okay, well, I
you
think
can make
it's-
your ruling, Your Honor, and that's
I
fine.
ruled, so that's out. So
Then what is your
else do you
ruling?
want? I just said it's out.
Thank
What
you.
else do you want to ask her?
There's nothing else.
Okay, let the jury step in.
Can I get my test back, please?
Sure. You know somebody from the lab.
Thanks, Forensic Garden. Yeah, I appreciate the likes and subscriptions. Thanks. I love the judge too. Yes, y'all are welcome. So I will be there tomorrow, and whenever it breaks for lunch, I will go outside and go live. I usually go out there and sit around all the homeless. Same with me, Diva. I didn't know about it until like the day before. Mhm. There's no documentary yet, but there will be. Oh, here for today. Thank you to get some of the popsicles that I like, the outshines. I wonder if they have them in California. I'm sure they do. Grape is my favorite. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Look at all this shadiness. Mm-mm. Mm-hmm. No, I haven't seen anything with her being pregnant. And she wanted to live healthy and all this. Yeah.
My questions have already been asked.
We need questions from this second.
Blaise has a sister. She's sitting there too with her parents. I mean, they're like this. They're very stoic.
Who was the next witness?
That's exactly how they are.
Defense calls, Eric Devlin.
Yeah, get him, somebody, let the lawyers.
Yeah, complete circus. Yeah, why didn't he just... If I was his mother and I was sitting there hearing all this, I would be livid with my child.
Certified in family medicine and also in addiction
That is
medicine.
great.
I'm also a medical review officer, which is the individual that is involved with drug toxicologies as it relates to substances of abuse. And I currently work as an addiction medicine specialist at a community clinic overseeing a treatment and any sort of substance use related things at a federally qualified health center.
And Can you tell us a little
True.
bit about your education?
Yes, I went to UC Davis for undergrad and then went to medical school at UC Irvine, followed by residency training at Long Beach Memorial, and then pretty much started practice right around that time.
Andrew, the defense jobs to pick holes to create reasonable doubt. Here's the thing, though. I think if they had just rested and not put this, I think this makes them look worse. Like, yes, they have been covering up. They can't get a decent witness.
And have you published any articles?
I have not.
Have you dealt with or worked at addiction treatment centers?
Yes, I have.
How many?
Approximately, I'd say 5 or 6. I've been a medical director for every level of what we consider to be along the continuum for addiction treatment. So inpatient, hospital-based detox, inpatient rehab, outpatient, intensive outpatient, and partial hospitalization programs.
And what, if any, other specialized skills and trainings you may have?
Primarily just the added medical review officer, I think, to the addiction medicine board certification.
And do you have any experience treating patients with addiction?
Yes, I do.
Do you have any experience treating pregnant women with addiction?
Yes, I do.
One second. Do you have any experience in dealing with and/or diagnosing substance use disorders?
Yes, I do.
And what would some of those be?
The substances? Is that the question?
Yes.
Methamphetamine, cocaine, opioids, alcohol use, cannabinoids, pretty much any substance of abuse, hallucinogens, inhalants.
And what is substance use disorder?
Well, a substance use disorder is a diagnosis that's related to a chronic illness that we call a substance use disorder based off of the substance, the primary substance. And it involves biological, psychological aspects that are typically defined by somebody continuing to do things despite negative consequences.
And have you ever testified before as an expert, as a medical review officer and a addiction specialist?
Yes, I have.
Thanks, Chicago.
No further questions at this time, no. Okay. I would ask that he be tendered as an expert as a medical review officer as well as a addiction medicine specialist.
The state's not so much concerned with
Yes.
the qualifications, but with the relevance.
Yeah, Jade went to all her prenatal visits, everything.
Where do you want him to opine for this jury? I want him to opine for this jury. Okay. Dr. Mario, in your experience, is pregnancy a automatic stoppage to substance use?
No.
Why not?
Well, because even though it is definitely a well-studied external motivator, in other words, if somebody is in the process of using substances and finds that they're pregnant, it is something that is associated with a higher likelihood of having motivation to stop using. But by itself, it's not something that's a guaranteed that somebody would stop using any substances.
And what is addiction medicine trying to understand?
Well, addiction medicine really deals with judgment. It deals with physiologic changes that drive somebody to have impulsivity, to have the kind of behaviors that can be harmful to them. And despite those things, there's changes in the brain that cause them to continue the behaviors that hurt them. So a lot of it has to do with judgment, and a lot of it has to do with how substances interface.
Can self-reporting in clinical settings, what is your opinion about self-reporting in clinical settings?
Well, it definitely is very valuable. That's what we base all of our screens with. People self-report. It has some limited value in that we are relying that the individual is being forthcoming. And that can be difficult in addiction, because addiction also, or even without addiction, actually just with what we would consider substance use. That means no addiction, no dependence, just they happen to use a substance. But in the setting of screenings and things like that, there's a lot of stigma, unfortunately, that's attached to any substance use. And so sometimes people, they have reasons to fear being forthcoming with certain things that have to do with substances.
If you know, can you please explain what is an opioid epidemic?
Well, the opioid epidemic is currently something that we've experienced since around 1999. Currently, we're in our fourth wave of the opioid epidemic, and everyone's probably seen in the news.
So the jury's not hearing this. This is a however the hell you say it. I think the state wanted him to just dig his hole.
Drugs like fentanyl or heroin, these are class of chemicals that typically we use for pain. And the first wave of that really happened somewhere around 1999. And it was around prescription drugs that doctors would prescribe, and sometimes people could get dependent on them. Now, dependency is not the same thing as addiction. It can even just be dependence. It can be around pain. However, it does leave people where if they stop using it, they experience what we call withdrawal. And withdrawal can be a pretty severe neurologic type of reaction to not having the substance, access to the substance, which then when we clamp down on that and reduce that from the standpoint of the system, it created the second wave. And the second wave was around heroin, where people found that they could no longer access prescription drugs. And so they went to use heroin, which was cheaper and more accessible. The third wave came somewhere around 2012, 2013, which had to do with fentanyl. And that was the beginning of what we see now, where you didn't even have to be addicted. You could just actually come into contact with a very potent opioid, a synthetic opioid like fentanyl, not from a prescription, but something that was either adulterated, added to something that you thought was something else, or the very thing in question being the fentanyl. And that went on for some time, and now we're in our fourth wave. And the fourth wave involves fentanyl plus psychostimulants. And psychostimulants, that class, involves primarily methamphetamine and cocaine. And those are the second highest amount of prevalence that we see next to fentanyl in cases that involve fatal overdoses.
What scheduled drug is fentanyl?
It's a Schedule 2.
What about cocaine?
It's a Schedule 2.
What about marijuana?
It's federally still scheduled right now. This thing is a Schedule 1.
What about Adderall?
Adderall is a Schedule 2. That's a psychostimulant.
And if Adderall is a psychostimulant, does that mean it will fall within the fourth wave?
It is. It's an amphetamine.
And are counterfeit or fake Adderall pills contributing to the opioid crisis?
So that's the big thing that's happening now, and this is why the DEA has put out warnings about this. It's not that people are consciously seeking out, usually when they pass away, necessarily the combination of fentanyl with a psychostimulant. It's that oftentimes they think they're taking one thing, but it's adulterated.
Backtracking a little bit, what about mushrooms?
Smoked has probably been smoked by somebody at some point. However, in the case of some potentially, wasn't done, the labs, the examination, she did not have a use disorder that I could state as a physician because that examination was not done. But misuse of substances, there's actually a lot of information. There are chats with.
I'm not asking you about misuse disorders. I'm asking you about Jade Benning. I'm not asking about other people.
I'm not talking about other people. I'm talking about Jade Benning as well.
Okay. Well, in California, is marijuana legal in California?
It is. Well, it's decriminalized, so it's
decriminalized, whatever. It's actually legal in a number of states, from what I understand. Okay. Do you treat people with marijuana addictions?
I do.
All right. So do they come to you out of the blue, referred by law enforcement?
Law enforcement doesn't give me many referrals unless there's court ordered. However, I do get referrals, and I do have people that come in that tell me that their cannabis use has gotten past what they can handle, and they feel like their life's out of order.
Gotten out of control.
Yeah.
Absolutely no indication that happened with Jade Benning, is there?
I would consider engaging with a drug dealer unusual behavior that would be linked to, in this case, cannabis.
That's my point.
That information.
From the text messages that she was having between Danny, the dealer, she was getting for her coworkers and for herself, cartridges of cannabinoids, all sorts of different species of cannabinoids, some magic mushrooms. I'm sorry? She was brokering them. Some of it was promised to her, but most of it was as an intermediary for coworkers. I would consider that to be unusual behavior, I think, for anybody to engage in that, because the risks are high. Not judging if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but to put yourself in a position to have to be an intermediary and then potentially be at risk for the consequences when you give somebody else a substance that somebody else brokered for them.
From the records you reviewed, talking about Adderall, there was no Adderall or any derivative of that found in Ms. Benning's system.
Yeah, I think she did text a dealer, but y'all, she was a chef. We all know the restaurant scene. I think she was just kind of getting stuff for people. And even what's his face had told the police there was no alcohol, no drugs, or anything in the house.
Was there?
No.
Oh shit! Sorry.
Communication site. The Bumble app can't have.
Essential that you would agree.
Contested. It's maybe for the. It's for.
How are you employed, sir?
Sorry, I hit them.
Is there that she was involved in dangerous drugs on the day or in and around the day she
I thought of another reason why he was panicky on the 911 call, because I'll tell you what he didn't plan on. Well, a couple things. One, he wanted her to lose the baby, in my opinion. Then he didn't realize he was going to take her out too. He didn't plan on her calling calling Nija. And when all that started happening, and then Nija's like, I'm coming over there. And he was like, crap. Because that was not part of the plan. I think he was going to leave and just thought she was going to go to sleep. That's what I think.
Because on that very day, she reached out to her drug dealer. The very day she
Any
passed
proof
away.
that she met with him?
We don't know.
Okay. Well, your Dr. Larkin says on the day of her death,
Kind of a dealer, I think. I think it was just, people knew, like, hey, we'll ask her. She can get it for us.
He met with her drug dealer. You just said that inaccurate.
Well, I think an inference can be made.
I will say she had a very nice apartment. I mean, apartments aren't cheap here.
That she did.
You just
so,
said she did.
Facilitator.
and you asked me, is there any proof that she did?
That's what we deal with, is proof.
Well, we have to be able to put on a defensive theory. So all I
Sure,
have to say.
I haven't figured out relevancy-wise what it is. But that's where I'm
Tomorrow, I'm going to stand up and say, hey, y'all need microphones.
trying to get to.
What's relevant is,
But I've already ruled on Dr. San Bartolo.
if I could just say,
I think it's pretty well known that Blaise does not do drugs or drink. I imagine they do a urine test, don't you think?
what's relevant is the doctor stated about the most stigmatized person when it comes to drugs is the pregnant woman, which means that she will do whatever she can to hide her interaction, use, dealing with drugs, such that her family
Just
will not
present
know.
proof, if you have it, that she was using drugs. That's all you have
There's
to do.
no proof, this to tell you what it is, this either, but there is that inference being made. In that same instance, we would like to make the inference in regard to this thing.
Okay, and I rule.
I know. I'm sorry. The sound sucks.
Number 8, I feel like actually clears up the.
That's the one you just asked.
And became a prosecutor at the Harris County District Attorney's Office, which is Houston's DA's office. Is it all on here with?
He's talking about a
Where she
text.
got a text message from Bumble with her registration code on August 6th of 2022.
Oh, they were trying to show that she was on Bumble.
Manner that she could have been trying to message a friend or a girlfriend to check on her. She also could have been messaging a man to try to date.
Could be, yes, ma'am.
Again, Your Honor, based on.
Yes. The argument is that she was miserable and she did this on purpose.
Say, do you have any other questions?
Not related to Bumble.
Okay, all right, thanks. You can wait for that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Y'all hear that slam? That's that door.
And particularly whether or not she's dating men in December when they're broken up, the state's position is it's irrelevant.
That's the first time in 7 days I've heard that. So back to the pages 22 and 23. What does that show me under 401?
What it shows is that Bumble is known to be a dating application. It is not known to be a place where you go and look, say hello to a friend. That's,
So installed it on another occasion.
I don't have a problem with that.
Okay, that's what I asked.
And then the second reply of, I told him that I would call him when I get off. The account ending in 0608 replied, oh, I don't know, I didn't know you answered. And with the second reply of, how was his tone?
Do you know who this number 501541068 belongs to?
I believe that's the same name that you gave me earlier that I butchered, so.
Nigel.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to draw your attention to page 15. And what is the text message thread, please?
On this one, it's a continuation from the previous page. It's the account belonging to this particular device replies, he sounded the same as always, but I could tell he had something he needed to talk about, of course. The account ending in 0608 replied, why am I anxious like I'm talking to him? This device's account replies, LMAO, because I've been waiting for this. The account with 0608 replied with, get off work already, LOL. The account for this device replied, right, I keep looking at my watch. And then the final message on there is a reply from the 0608 account, keep me updated.
I now want to draw your attention to the next section. Could you tell us the subject matter of this next section?
On the next one, there's communications with Blaise Taylor.
And can I draw your attention to page 17?
Yes.
Can you please read that text thread for us?
Yes. I'm sorry, these are smaller, so I'm going to read it from the larger screen. This particular account, the local user account, initiated a message saying, thank you for coming to help/see the new place. I'm glad we got to talk about all that we did. You give me a better understanding on some things I didn't have before. I hope you feel a little better as well, babes, with an emoji. The reply was from the phone number ending in 5738. Thanks and no problem. At 12:03:10 p.m., the message was sent saying, okay, that's good though. Blaise replied, yeah.
Look at him.
And so when you said that you went through Ms. Benning's
But this is
phone,
good.
did you actually take the text message that you have in your page 4 of your report? And did you actually look at the other messages surrounding it to see what context it was given? Which, Your Honor, I'm going to ask what he's doing right now on that tablet.
He's scrolling through his.
Are you looking at the report?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm trying to see what was on page 4.
Yes,
So,
no, I'm happy to. I just didn't know if you were looking at the extraction.
oh no. Did I see the messages, the context of the messages? I did not.
Okay, so you didn't look at the messages that actually preceded Jade's message to Danny, where one of her friends said, we please top shelf an 8, and Jade responds, okay, I'll let you know when he's gonna come.
I'm sorry. Yes, I did see all of that. That's absolutely correct.
Okay, so this message that Jade sent, like, could I get an 8? She wasn't referring to herself because she was getting it for one of her friends.
My reading of it was that she was getting it for somebody else.
Okay. And then same thing with page 5. There are other messages that reference apple fritter. And Jade was seeing if anyone wanted this because she regularly would get different weed from Danny Weed for people that she worked with.
I mean, that particular set of messages was a frequent post within that Telegram group. So.
Okay. And going to your page 8.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so your page 8 That is not Miss Benning, that is one of her friends asking for Adderall, correct?
Correct.
And did you actually read through that message thread with Miss Benning and her friend had a valid prescription for Adderall? Did you notice that?
I remember the discussion of that, yes.
Were you familiar with the Adderall shortage that the pharmacies were having during this time frame of November 2022?
I'm not familiar with that, so.
Okay, so if pharmacies were out of Adderall during that time, which actually, if you read through the text between Ms. Jackson and Ms. Benning, they actually talk about the fact that Walgreens can't get it and everybody is out of their Adderall prescription from their doctor.
Okay.
Okay. And then, so this one, I would like for you to look at page 9, skip page 10 entirely, and look at page 11 and 12.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did you connect page 9, 11, and 12 in any way?
Did I connect them? I don't guess I understand your question, so.
Okay, well, page 9 is actually the last message in a sequence of messages, but you put it first. And then when you go to page 11, you left the other person off of this thread, which is readily available in the extraction, but you left off Mario Gutierrez as the person asking Jade, can you holler at Danny? Your boy needs a half.
I do recall that, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that's Mario Gutierrez, but you left his name off of this.
When I pulled it, I don't think it was included in there, but that's correct. I believe it was Mario Gutierrez.
Okay, and then page 12 follows where Ms. Benning asks Danny very specifically, and this is on February 25th, my coworker wants to get half. And Danny responds, bet I got you when I get back.
Yes, ma'am.
Which, and I apologize, page 9 doesn't actually relate other than it's from that Mario thread. The time that Mario gets anything is on February 18th, but your report listed 2 dates. It listed the 25th, which kind of inferred that the messages you included in 11 and 12 were on the 25th. But no one meets Danny on the 25th. You would agree with me about that, wouldn't you?
I have no idea if anybody met Danny on the 25th, so.
Because there's absolutely nothing in Ms. Benning's phone that indicates that happened. It's the opposite. Danny said, I'm not here. I'll hit you when I get back.
I do recall that further messages where he said, I'll hit you when I get back.
Okay, and on page 13, this section is labeled a conversation about Blaise Taylor. And that conversation, that's not the only one, correct?
There's quite a few messages about Blaise Taylor.
Okay, and this is from December 31st of 2022. And then again, the next section that you have that begins on page 16, that is not the only communication that they have, correct?
No, they had quite a few communications.
And then we get to page 19, which is plans with Blaise Taylor. And again, on page 20, for some reason, even though it's in the extraction, you left off the person Ms. Benning was speaking with. And this is from the date of 2/25/23 at 12:00.
It was so unethical, just pulling like different texts and using them out of context and not sharing what it was about. That's awful. Yogi, complete circus. Agree.
She messages her best friend, Jade Jackson, to tell her that she's gonna plan to do a little paint with Blaise tonight. So you didn't put in the thread that they were talking about where to get the paint and maybe Dollar Tree would have it.
There was, I remember,
Connected to why she stopped at Walmart.
I remember all those communications. I know that there were some, even some pictures. I believe there was a picture of the crib as a part of it. There was talk about what they were going to paint. So I mean, there's a couple of those messages. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And then on page 22, you have this Bumble information, which you have an install date. But you didn't include the message that showed that Ms. Benning registered for Bumble in August of 2022.
This was when I ran this particular search term. This is what came up. But there, we talked about those messages before. I did see a message back in August of 22 that showed a previous registration for Bumble.
Yeah, that guy was like nervous. All right, let's just go to the end. Oh, there's Nija. Look how pretty. I'll just go to the end because I got to get to bed.
I'm going to be testifying to. Now, those are just
Wait, y'all gotta see this.
Order 2307. What general Norman or work orders that no one's been here lab-wise to testify about?
NMS 2307.
230.
78883.
You're gonna be able to testify without anything in front of you?
No, and no.
So my question is anything in this document, 3-page document, that has anything to do with work order 2307883?
I don't know. I think Dr. Yancey's in the back sheet.
Who?
You're looking at the document that I submitted, not Dr. Levin.
Why are you standing up?
Because
Just have a seat.
Okay, I think, so
Just have a seat.
I don't have any
You
reference
see
to any
those
work
last
orders
two
in here.
sentences in your report?
It's not a report though, right? Yes, I see that.
Where did you get that information from?
From the toxicology records that I looked at.
From who? What lab?
I would have to look, I can't remember. These are just notes that I have.
How are you gonna testify? What are you gonna use to find that out?
We'll put those up when I
We
put up the notes. I can ask to have that put up.
about me.
Somebody that works with her, I think, was standing up in the back.
So you have no clue where you got that information?
I got them from I have all the toxicology reports and I have summaries. I would have to look exactly where it came from.
Okay.
If this were a report, it would actually have reference to that.
Okay, well, tell me where that information came
I would have to have the reports
Do
to
that.
pull it up.
from. Where is it? Is it the same report you asked about earlier or this
Well, I
one?
can share this with you. What I plan to testify or have her testify about is
Where is
I'm alleviating your issue. What I
You're not
want-
asking her about those last
I'm
two
not.
sentences? Oh, you said earlier you were.
No, I didn't.
Yes, sir.
Then why'd you put this in this document?
As she said.
Those are just-
I'm not asking you.
Those are just notes for me to
So
look
you
at.
didn't rely on
I've
this-
never
You didn't
actually
rely
produced
on this
something like
last
this.
paragraph for any of your opinion.
Not for what I'm going to be testifying to. No, those are just some of my thoughts I put
But
down.
why don't we do this?
If I
You
had-
ask her what you want her to testify about.
I'm gonna tell you, she's not prepared right now to testify for that because I don't have my things together yet. She's
What
going
do
to
you need to
testify.
have together?
I'm gonna tell you what the two reports that she's gonna testify to.
Okay, give us those.
I don't have any problem with that, sir. 231-26889 is one of them.
Look at the other guys. Her husband, y'all can't see because my head's in the way. He's done. The other guy is done. Where's Blaise? Oh, shoot, he's behind her.
And then 231-29285.
That's the first blood in the comforter.
Okay. You have issues with that?
I do not have issues with that. I do have issues with this witness whose non-report that I consider to be a report relies upon false information.
I don't know. Let me try to find out again. Your opinion that says the history, witness observations, clinical presentation, toxicology findings, and objective medical evidence support the conclusion that Jade's collapse is more consistent with respiratory arrest resulting from combined cocaine use and pre-hospital fentanyl exposure than with a primary sole cocaine-induced cardiac event. Is that your bottom line?
Yes, sir.
Where do you get the information that there was pre-hospital fentanyl exposure?
Clinically, I can tell you in my 30 years of experience in treating patients with different types of overdoses, we have a clinical picture, we have the 911 call, we have the other witnesses that have spoken, we have the EMS.
You're talking about the sleepy, awake, talking, doesn't feel right, that kind of
Yes, and then, and the two reports that we'll be talking about on the computer.
Who's we?
So the,
Unfortunately, it wasn't tested for and everything.
what level testing?
She's not privy to it because I haven't had the opportunity to meet with her, which I had planned to do tonight.
What was tested for?
Not,
Letitia had planned to meet with her tonight.
not everything about fentanyl was not necessarily tested for, and
On what?
in the urine that's no longer done at 225.
But that's what I'm asking. You said you included your toxicology findings in making that opinion.
Your Honor, what is unfair is she's telling you that those are notes, those are not her lasting opinions, that is not a report. So you're trying to commit her to something that she never intended to be there. So that's unfair to ask her for that. She has stated as a medical professional doctor.
Why
Those
did
are
you
her
include that paragraph?
notes. Those are her notes.
Those are just some of my thoughts. It doesn't mean they were
So
what
this
I,
paragraph on the bottom of page 2 means nothing to your opinion.
I'd have to look at it again. I just made some notes and I probably put, I mean, that's not the basis of my opinion, but again, they're just notes. They're nothing official. There's no report. I don't write a report that looks like that. I just was asked to give some notes and they were some things I just put together this weekend. And
So you don't know, Mrs. Collins, that you plan on asking her about any pre-hospital fentanyl use?
Yes, I do, because it was in the vomit. Their own witness testified that the vomit was in, the fentanyl was in
From
the
the
vomit.
lower level and all that.
It's hard, it's really hard. But what I'm saying is that the fentanyl was found in the vomit. That was testimony that came from that.
But you don't plan on asking this witness anything about that other work order?
No, I don't.
Okay. Any other questions?
Yes, Your Honor. The state, number one, that was not Dr. Mithen's testimony. Dr. Mithen was very specific.
Okay, do you have questions of this witness?
Yes, this witness's notes include a reference to the EMS guy said he thought it was an allergic reaction. We do not have those facts in this case.
Where are you referencing?
That is the last sentence in the first paragraph. Our EMS witnesses said the exact opposite.
Well, here's what I can't do. And again, if she testifies tomorrow in front of the jury on inaccurate information, then again,
How pissed is Blaise's dad? Like having paid for all these people. I guess I'll get to see her tomorrow. Ooh. Basically, all the witnesses are a bunch of nothing burgers. You need to wear your hair in a bouffant on top of my head. Yeah, I need to bump it. I need to bump it. All right, y'all. I got to go to bed. But if you're confused, I'm confused too. The whole thing's confusing. But yeah, I'll be going live at lunch tomorrow. So look for me. I don't know what time it'll be. He tends to go kind of late, but we'll see. Good night. Thanks for being here, everybody. I appreciate it.
I'm Lazy B, justice seeker, story keeper, and we're still watching, waiting for justice.